Right, here we go, finally, getting this podcast recorded. Finally. What a busy 24 hours. Oh, I'm glad to get sitting down to get this done because a lot of you are asking for it. Right, microphone, check. And monster drink, hang on. Popped. Ready to rock and roll. Here we go. Let's go. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, or whatever time it is this day you're listening to me here on the Moor Army Podcast. Welcome back to another episode of the argy-bargy that is the Moor Army Podcast. On this Friday, I'm actually sitting here on Friday early afternoon recording this podcast. Another apology yesterday for no podcast being released yesterday. As you all know, and I put it in my social media yesterday, that was quite busy and things came up at the last minute, which was beyond my control. So we didn't get enough time yesterday to get the podcast recorded, but I'm back now for another episode. Anyway, how you all doing? Hope you're all keeping well since the last time I spoke to you on Tuesday. Had a lot of messages from you from Tuesday. Obviously, I've been, as you all know, the last couple of weeks since the podcast has returned. All the little woodworm rats, all the wee trolls that come out of the woodwork to try and get this podcast shut down with their random emails and messages, trying to basically hurt my feelings. Yeah, I've been sitting for 3 or 4 weeks now crying into my pillow every night. My heart bleeds so much. I'm so heartbroken by all your comments. Anyway, I've had some cracking messages from you this week as well. But yes, guys, welcome back. I'm here to talk about another. This could be a shorter podcast today because, again, I'm trying to squeeze this podcast in because I have a really busy day today and then this evening. Probably not long after this podcast finally gets published, I'll be sitting down to watch a WWE pay-per-view, as I still call them, not PLE as they call them now, at 6 o'clock tonight, because they're in Saudi Arabia for a pay-per-view. I talked about them flying over there this week with this whole Iranian and we're working on with Israel and stuff, but they're there, they've arrived there and everything's fine, so we're watching that tonight. And I've been trying to do a vlog for the last couple of days as well. I'm in the middle of freshening up my bathroom, but we'll talk about that in just a minute or two. What I've been up to the last couple of days and more. And I've got some of your questions. I've got some really good subjects I want to talk about today. Some ones that really sort of annoyed me as an older man and an older generation. Because I know I have a lot of younger listeners out there, but obviously there's ones that are at my age too as well and older. So I want to talk about some things today that sort of one or two things that made my fucking teeth itch. But anyway, before we go any further in the podcast today, welcome back once again, guys. If you're new to the Moor Army Podcast or you're a regular listener and you want to get in touch with me on the program or on the podcast or whatever you want to call it, everybody has a different name for this, on your program or on your show or on your podcast. You want to get in touch? It's quite easy. Simple. All you got to do, first of all, send us an email. moorarmypodcast@yahoo.com. Also, the social media pages, the YouTube channel, Facebook, Moor Army YouTube channel. Drop me a mail on there anytime you want. Love hearing from you. And also on Instagram, official Matthew Moore on Instagram. Drop me a message. Or reply to some of the stories that I put up in relation to the podcast because the questions get sent directly to me. So there you go. Really itchy nose this morning. You know, what's that old saying? You have an itchy nose or something, you're going to have a fight with someone? Well, I had a run on my teenage son this morning because he flooded the bathroom floor after his shower, but we'll say no more about that, so that's probably what it is. And also, before we go on to the podcast, guys, you want to check out our good friends of the Moor Army Podcast, FTBL Spot, which is to do with classic football shirts, mystery shirts in a box, football boots and more. Check out our good friends at ftblspot.shop, which is their website. Put in the promo code MOORARMY at checkout to get some great discounts on your purchases. So if you want to go and check them out, that's ftblspot.shop. If you're listening to us on YouTube as well here, guys, don't forget to hit subscribe and check out the link for it in the description below. You can go and check out their website, check out all their stuff, and don't forget at the checkout, put in the promo code MOORARMY for all your discounts at checkout. Some great stuff on there. So there is. And I was talking to the guy who runs it the other day on Instagram. really nice guy, same sound as a pound. He's a really, really cool guy, and he's glad to be partners here with the Moore Army. So ftblspot.shop. Don't forget Moore Army at the checkout. Get all your great discounts. But anyway, yes, what do we got to talk about today? This is going to be fun today. Mr. Prime Minister is doing a bit of a U-turn in relation to benefits for disabled people and stuff like that, disability stuff as well. We're obviously going to talk about that balloon head today. We're going to be talking about neighbours from hell. I know, it's in the news today. Also, a man calls for tougher sentences for drug dealers after his son had passed away recently. Also, Freddie Mercury. Now, this story made me sort of jump up and go, whoa, hang on here, what's going on here? Freddie Mercury, as you all know, passed away in November 1991, the lead singer of Queen. There's a rumour going around now, swirling around the world right now, that apparently Freddie could possibly have a love child from an affair. But Brian May, the guitar player of Queen, who still performs this day at the age of 77, has given his thoughts on that. We'll talk about that shortly as well. And the first thing I want to talk about today is Eamon Holmes. Yes, I know, the presenter here from Northern Ireland who has been in the world of entertainment for 40, maybe 50 years. One second, take a swig of this Monster here. It's fucking roasting in here today. Even though it's like a really overcast day, guys, it is so warm. Drink a swig of Monster for the working man. Oh, it clears the old pipes. Anyway, and the flavour I'm drinking today, in case you're asking, is this new Punch. The green tin with the yellow front as well on it. Actually tastes quite nice. Anyway, Eamon Holmes, we all know who's been in the showbiz world. Any of my younger listeners don't know who Eamon Holmes is. Go and search him up. He's currently a presenter now on GB News. Oh my God, he's mentioned GB News. Shit, he's far right. Oh crap, I can't mention GB News. I'm a right-wing extremist now. As you probably saw from my Instagram post the other day, apparently there's an email address and all now called Moore Right Winger or something? I don't know what the hell it's called now. I posted it on Instagram. Go and have a look at it. It's actually quite funny. Some wee rat troll thinks he's funny setting up fake email addresses. Apparently I'm a right-wing extremist, by the way, guys. Yeah, because I have an opinion. I don't like the lefties, the wee morons, the crazy ones that we've talked about many times. But anyway, Eamon Holmes, who's currently a presenter on GB News, has been on the TV or screens for years and years and years. Beloved member from Northern Ireland. He's born and bred in Northern Ireland. He's made a huge career of himself. And he's obviously been through his health issues recently, where he's now in one of those little electric wheelchair things and stuff like that. And he was at an awards night the other night. Some fucking stupidity up their own arse awards night. And I don't know why he was either presenting an award or he was receiving an award. But when he came on the stage, them fucking lefty morons were booing him. Booing this guy who has been beloved by millions all across the UK, Ireland, everywhere. Eamon Holmes is a gentleman. And for these fucking morons to come out and boo this man, why? Why? Because he doesn't agree with your little lefty fucking moron, oil protesting, creepy weirdo fucking LGBTQ stuff, and because he calls a spade about the government online and on TV, and he calls bullshit when he sees it, and because you morons don't like what he has to say, which is the truth, you have the audacity to harass him online and boo him. A man in a fucking wheelchair who's going through a lot of disabilities at the minute, and obviously not disabilities, he's going through a lot of health issues, and these morons booed him as he got wheeled onto the stage the other night. How dare you? This man is a national treasure, and you're fucking booing him. And I guarantee you now half of them in there weren't even born whenever he was still working on TV as a young man. At their age, they weren't even fucking born. So, from my opinion to that is, it's so disrespectful. And this is the generation that we live in now, where if you have an opinion against certain walks of life, then you're I'm getting this all the time from people now because of this podcast now. I'm being called everything. Left, I'm called far right. I'm being called, far right extremist. I'm called fucking everything. You can think of it, I'm called it. Homophobic, genderphobic. I've been accused of being on the dole. I'm a waster, I'm a liar, I'm a bullshitter. Stick it up your fucking ass for all I care. That's what I say. At the end of the day, when good men like Eamon Holmes get booed on a stage, that really fucking makes my teeth itch. So anybody who booed him that night should be ashamed of yourself, and you should hang your head in shame, because this man now is going through his issues. Now I understand he's obviously had his ups and downs over the years. Nobody in this world's perfect. I'm not perfect. You listen to this podcast, I'm not perfect. But that man is a national treasure. And these arseholes, these little fucking lefty fucking do-gooders are all boo, boo. Like, why? What was your point behind it? Because he tells the truth and he calls a spade a spade. Stick your booze up your ass. I just wanted to get that out of the way today, because when I even saw a couple of videos of it on social media, and I was like, why are they booing that man? But again, I'm probably going to get emails back saying, oh, Eamon Holmes is a far-right extremist and he's on that GB News channel. Look, listen, I told you this before. I don't watch the fucking news. I watch the news occasionally when it pops up or something's on or a major incident happens. Like, say, for example, the other day with that war going on, I was flicking through the channels just to see who was telling the truth and who was bullshitting. And then I ended up having to go online to try and find out exactly what was going on, because a lot of the MSM, the mainstream media, are full of shit. So there you go. But I mean, that's just really irritated me, the fact that they were booing Eamon Holmes. An absolute national treasure. You know what I mean? My grandmother loved Eamon Holmes. My mum's mum, she adored Eamon Holmes back in the day, back in the 70s and the 80s and all, when he was a young man, and used to think, oh, Eamon Holmes is a beautiful, handsome man. I actually think my granny actually met him back in the 80s, I think, for what I was told. And he was apparently an absolute gentleman to her. But there you go. That just makes my freaking teeth itch. It really, really does. Just a wee story I was reading through, some just popped up today through the Daily News and stuff like that. I was looking at there, and I saw something about it yesterday, but a man in England apparently had lost his son due to drug overdose. And the father has now, lost his son. The addiction to cocaine is now calling for the custodial sentences for those caught dealing drugs should be a lot extreme. Now, at the end of the day, my view on this is, yes, okay, if you're caught drug dealing and stuff like that, you should go to jail. It's a crime. It's always going to be a crime no matter what. Again, this gentleman's lost his son, which I'm very sorry to hear. He's lost the drugs and stuff like that. Again, you could argue on both sides of the fence, could he have helped his son more? Was it his son's fault or whatever? There's obviously a lot of reasons behind people that do drugs regularly. They do it for, relief, or some people just do it for the hell of it, or they do it for partying, or they do it for they're depressed, or all different walks of life. I've admitted to myself on this podcast, I've admitted on my YouTube channel, I had an addiction to painkillers, which you could see technically is a drug, obviously not as bad as cocaine. I had a painkiller problem for almost, a year and a half, 2 years, where I depended on painkillers to operate and to walk and to function. And, I've openly admitted that many a time. And people I've met in the street, have said to me, Matthew, is that really true? What happened to you about your addiction to painkillers? You can barely walk. And yeah, it's true. But I have my reasons behind it, because of obviously the issues that I was going through, my health issues with my back, and obviously what happened to me during lockdown and all my health issues and all. And the only way I could get through a day was painkillers. And that's why recently, because of the painkiller addiction and obviously coming off the painkillers, and obviously the other issues I had with my health and stuff, I gained a good bit of weight. I'm trying my best to get it off, as you can probably see on my YouTube channel. I'm walking all the time now. I'm down to the parks. I'm out walking to the beaches. I'm trying to, cut back on certain things. Okay, I'm sitting here drinking a tin of Monster, but maybe 1 or 2 a week. Not every day like I used to, because I needed the energy to get out of fucking bed in the morning. But come back to this story here, this gentleman, and he says that now people who are dealing drugs should get stronger sentences. Could I agree with him? Possibly, yeah. Should it be stronger sentences? It depends on the circumstances, how severe it is. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, he's lost his son. I don't know the reason why his son became addicted to drugs, whether it was a personal choice or whether he thought it was no other way to go about it. Again, there's all different ways and different answers to look to it. But he was in here to talk about police obviously trying to stop these organised gangs and stuff like that. But again, what's your view on this, guys? Do you think people who are caught drug dealing, should they get stronger sentences when it comes to being sentenced to go to jail? Let me know what you think about that. I'd love to hear your opinion on it. Send me an email or contact me and let me know what you think about that. Obviously, we talked about that today, and obviously, I can send my condolences to that gentleman who lost his son, which is very sad, obviously, to lose a child, but at a very young age as well. Anyway, let's get into a little subject I want to talk about here. I want to take where we drink. This room is like a fucking steam room today. I have a window and all open here, guys, in this room, and I'm sitting here with my mic in front of me, and I'm sitting here in a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, and I'm friggin' roasting. Could you imagine if I had been sitting in Spain or something recording this podcast right now? I'd be melting like a fucking ice cream in a microwave. Swig a Monster away for the working man. I'd probably have this tin drink before I get halfway through this bloody podcast. Anyway, our beloved Prime Minister has done a U-turn in relation to all this stuff that he was trying to do over the last few weeks, as you all know, and I had a lot of you contact me about this, saying about your parents, about the winter fuel payments and about the disability payments, and people have contacted me on email and by messages and saying about their grandparents and about their parents and about things like that, which the amount of response I got from you guys has been unbelievable, as always. I've replied to a lot of you personally, whether by Instagram, Facebook, or email. Now, all of a sudden, this balloonhead Keir Starmer's doing a U-turn because he's now basically starting to shit his pants because he knows that his time is almost up. And now his own party, the Labour Party, is turning against him. And I don't want to turn this podcast political every week, guys, but I'm just saying here for people who have been contacting me. He was basically trying to do was, if you haven't heard what he was trying to do, he obviously took away the winter fuel payment for the pensioners, which I thought was absolutely fucking disgusting. A lot of people struggled this past winter because of the coldness, and they weren't getting their winter fuel payments because of the Labour government. And then he was obviously trying to force people with disabilities to go back to work and cut their PIP payments or disability payments, whatever it's called. He was trying to cut that all away to try and save money. But then on the other side of the fence, he's given billions of pounds away to foreign aid, and he's obviously given billions of pounds to these hotels, or millions of pounds to these hotels who are bringing in illegal migrants and putting them in hotels and giving them everything for fucking free. But our Brits, our people who, even ex-military veterans, are sleeping on the streets, and now they're taking pensioners' thing away from them. One thing that really pissed me off about what he was doing as well, he's actually taxing people on their pension. So if you work all your life and you get to your pension, they're going to start taxing you heavily on your pension, which is going to even have less money for people struggling. Like, my parents are coming up to retirement. Well, my dad's retired now, but my mum's obviously got her health issues and stuff like that, and they're trying to tax them on things that they've already taken off them. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is this Labour government doing? But then in the last 48 hours or so, I've seen it. Now Keir Starmer's starting to shit the bricks. He's starting to shit the wall. Over 100 members of his own parliament have turned against him, and he's now trying to do a U-turn to save his job. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, Mr. Keir, but I would say a majority now, you're actually hated more than what bumbling Boris was, Mr. Stay at home, please. Don't go out, stay in it. People are starting to hate him more than you, or obviously hate you more than him. And he was a fucking clown. You know what I mean? Bumbling Boris was a clown, and then we had that Rishi Sunak, and then we had whoever else. It's hard to keep up with whoever the fuck's in charge. It's unbelievable. We need a Prime Minister who is going to be sticking around for at least 10 to 15 years. None of these, every other year we're going to get a new Prime Minister because these young people taking over the jobs haven't got a clue what they're doing. Liz Truss lasted 44 days. And then other clowns on the constituency of the Conservative Party, we had like Matt Hancock, who we talked about many times in this podcast, Mr. fucking cheating on his wife while everybody else was locked up in the house. All these other weirdos and stuff like that. And now we got Keir Starmer, who basically wants to starve Britain, but bring in all these foreigners and give them everything they fucking want. But now he's trying to do a U-turn because he's now starting to lose votes, and he's starting to shit his pants because he knows that the public's starting to turn on him. And I'm glad they're turning on him, because at the end of the day, he's a clown. He's another clown who hasn't got a clue what he's doing. And then I was reading yesterday that apparently, now don't quote me on this, that apparently his marriage is in bits. It's fallen apart too as well. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. Don't quote me on it. But again, these politicians are so full of shit, it is unbelievable. We need a leader of the UK, and over here in Northern Ireland is even fucking worse. Stormont is just as bad. Michelle O'Neill and that other fucking clown couldn't run a bath to save their lives. They're too busy more worried about at the minute of Casement Park than actually sorting out fucking Northern Ireland. You know what you see at the minute on over here? It's like, oh, they're trying to get money for Casement Park. Fuck Casement Park. Get the country sorted out. Other problems in the country need to be resolved first. Why do you think there's people out in the streets fucking ratting? Because they're getting pissed off with all this bullshit. So they are. And again, I've always said I don't encourage or try and promote any type of violence whatsoever on this podcast or whatever. But the people are getting sick and tired of listening to this bullshit every single fucking week. You know what I mean? Oh, we'll do this for you, we'll do that for you, and then as soon as you vote for them, oh no, fuck you, we'll take your vote, we're going to starve you and take your winter fuel payment off you, and we're going to take tax on your pensions, and we're going to leave you to freeze to death. It's all right, don't worry about it. So Mr. Starmer's starting to shit his pants. And I really hope and pray that he gets put out, because he needs to go. A lot of people now, it's all over the news today, people want him out. He has to go. He's just not good enough. You know what I mean? He's just not good enough. And what the state that the UK is in at the minute is and Ireland as well. I mean, I have a lot of Irish listeners down south. Hello to you all down there. Thank you for listening to the podcast. But even people from Ireland send me emails going, oh, Matthew, down south here, it's ridiculous. Dublin's fucking a mess. This place is a mess. My town's a mess. You know, the councils are doing fuck all to fix up places. Places are going left to right. Where I live in Bangor is exactly the same. The seafront of Bangor is an absolute joke. Now, they did say apparently they're starting work on the 30th of June, which I think is a load of bullshit, because I'm actually going to get up that day and I'm going to go down to the seafront to see if they actually turn up on the 30th, which they probably fucking won't. So in closing this subject, I'm going to ask you, the public, should Keir Starmer go? Should he be out the door? Should he be gone? Or should you keep him? I'm obviously going to get people from both sides saying, oh yes, keep him, he's good. No. But I guarantee you now, I'll get a lot of messages back from you guys saying he has to go. Let me know what you think. Should he stay or should he go? And I'll let you know what you all think on Tuesday. I may even put a wee poll up over the weekend on social media to vote. Should he stay or should he go? I personally think he should go. I think he's a clown. Anyway, moving on. Neighbours from Hell. It's just a wee story today. It sort of triggered me because I've obviously had a few neighbours from hell over the years as well. But this one here just sort of made me think, what the fuck? Neighbours from Hell was jailed after terrorising a couple through their Ring doorbell for over 3 years. A 52-year-old woman has been sentenced to 3 years and 4 months in prison for conducting a relentless harassment campaign against their upstairs neighbours through their Ring doorbell camera. This woman from Wandsworth, I don't really want to give her name out, in southwest London, subject to the young couple of years of torment that left them feeling trapped and frightened in their own home. This woman continuously ranted at them every day on their Ring doorbell from 2022 till recently, where they were stopped for finally the police had done something. I'm sorry. Look, listen, I've had horrible neighbours, which I don't want to talk about here on the podcast because it would probably take me all fucking day. I've had 2 or 3 horrible neighbours over the years, and eventually they were put in their place and they were moved on because not just me, people in the local area. I've lived in a couple of different places where the neighbours from hell were just put out and shown the door, and that was the end of it. But at the end of the day, 3 years of going to the Ring doorbell, why didn't the police do something about this? If they see this woman constantly coming to their door on camera, evidence, video evidence, hello, why didn't the fucking police do something? Like a restraining order, or if it's, say, an area where they live in where, say, it's a housing association people or whatever, report them, get them put out for their bad behaviour, move them on. You know, why isn't the police doing things like this? And then a couple apparently felt trapped in their own home. I'm sorry. Listen, I have cameras all around outside my house. I have a Ring doorbell as well, including cameras all around my home for protection because of our home being attacked over the years because of little local fucking scumbag trolls attacking our home because of YouTube and stuff like that and just thinking they're fucking funny. So I've got multiple cameras around my house, and one of them is a Ring doorbell. And if some rat was coming to my door for constantly and ringing the doorbell and slobbered into the doorbell, they'll be scruffed and fucked down my driveway and told where to go. Then I would call the police and say, these people are at my door harassing me constantly all the time. You're doing fuck all about it, so I've had to remove them myself. But then again, if I'd done that, then I'd probably end up the worst in the world. And this is where the police now need to focus on real crimes instead of going around danced up multicoloured LGBTQ stuff and dancing in parades and fucking going around and arresting people for tweets and putting people in jail for Facebook posts and all this other bullshit. When this couple here is feeling trapped in their own home and they're doing nothing about it. It'd be different if it only happened once or twice. 3 fucking years of it. 3 years? I'm sorry. And she finally got 3 years in jail for it. It sounds to me like that woman's a fucking nutcase. Sorry to tell you, she doesn't need 3 years in jail. She's the rest of her days in a padded cell somewhere in some crazy house. 3 fucking years constantly coming to your door. But the fact is, like, you can't really win in that situation, because if you go out and chase them, or you lay a finger on them to get them off your property, then you're the worst in the world. It's like if someone breaks into your home and you defend yourself to a certain degree. I've seen cases over the years where people who actually owned the home, they got sued by the burglar, and they ended up the worst in the world, even though someone else broke into their fucking house and they're protecting their home. What type of world are we living in now, guys? Seriously, the world is just crazy. Absolutely insane. Honest to God, it's madness. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, we subject to go on to here before we get into your questions today. And this is a really interesting one for me, because I'm a big Queen fan and Freddie Mercury fan, because I love his singing. You know, I grew up around Queen, one of them bands that came out in the 70s, and everybody knows Queen. You know, their tracks are known for so many things around the world. You know, they're probably one of the biggest bands on the planet. And we all know that Freddie Mercury, the lead singer, passed away on the 26th of November 1991. Now, I remember when Freddie died, I was 10? I was 10 that year. I remember like it was yesterday. And, you know, Freddie Mercury's voice will live forever. We all know that, because of Freddie. He's obviously an icon of the world of music. And I'm so sad the fact that he died so young. I would love to see him around the world today, the way the world is now with music. Fuck me, he'd be tearing half of them apart. The way half of the music is nowadays, it's all generic bullshit, half of the music nowadays. Some of the music some of the kids listen to now, you're like, what the fuck is that crap you're listening to? And it's not me being a fuddy-duddy, it's just the fact that, like, it's shit. Anyway, I'm going to get a lot of young ones now on me, target me now. Great. I couldn't care less. Just my point. But yes, there's news going around apparently now in the last few days. This has come out now, and Brian May, the lead guitar player, who in my opinion is one of the best guitar players to ever pick up a guitar. That man, I saw him perform, what was it, 3 years ago in Manchester with Brooke, and I tell you what, holy shit, that man can play a guitar. That man is an absolute fucking icon. And the band still goes to today with Brian May and Roger Taylor, who's the drummer. Obviously they have a new lead singer as well, but it's obviously not the same. But again, everybody loves Freddie. Everybody prefers Freddie. But the point of the story is today, guys, sorry for beating around the bush of the story. Apparently there's rumours going around that apparently Freddie had a love child from an affair years ago. Now, Brian May has come out and made his feelings clear on this secret love child. Is his wife, Anita Dobson. Now, I don't know why you know Brian's wife, Anita Dobson, played a character in EastEnders. She was married to Dirty Dan, very famous actress as well. Brian May has obviously come out and weighed on these rumours that Freddie Mercury fathered a secret love child after an affair. He says that the rumours started emerging early this year that the frontman had a secret daughter who was kept away from the spotlight. But Brian May's basically turned around and saying that apparently this is not true. I haven't heard any more about Freddie's old girlfriend, the one who he left his estate to, Mary Austin, who was Freddie's obviously girlfriend before Freddie came out as gay. Well, was he gay? Was he bisexual? I personally think he was more gay than anything else, but he left his estate to Mary, and Mary's the only one who knows where Freddie's ashes was scattered. Mary hasn't made any comment on this right now, whether it's true or not, I don't know. But these rumours are going around now. But again, you don't know whether this is true or not, or it's just some crazy fucker making up a thing for a story. Because you know what the mainstream media are like now. They're making up all these stories and all now. But yeah, has Freddie Mercury got a secret love child? If it was the case and he did have a daughter, I wouldn't be surprised, because back in the day, Freddie liked to party. And when I say he liked to party, I'm talking about swinger parties and parties for gay men, straight men, you know, lesbians, you name it. He partied with the best of them. And he loved to party. That was his lifestyle. And he lived his life to the way he wanted to live it. He lived by his own rules. And, you know, obviously, unfortunately, he ended up catching HIV and obviously the medication and all back then and the drugs back then and stuff like that. And the treatment all wasn't as advanced as what it is today, where people can live for a lot longer. Because the story was back in them days, was when you heard the word AIDS or HIV or whatever, that was it, death sentence, you were dead, you were gone. Nowadays, give you an example, Charlie Sheen, he has HIV, but he's on treatment now, medication. He can live for another 30 years because of obviously the treatment and all keeps him going. But Freddie partied a lot, and again, if he did have a love child, would I be surprised? Probably not, because of the party he used to do and the people he slept with and the things that he done back in the day. But again, do I think it's true? I don't know. It would have come out by now, but I'll keep an eye on this story to let you know. Guys, what do you think? Do you think Freddie Mercury has a love child? Interesting. It's an interesting story, which I'm going to keep an eye on because I love Queen so much. I love the band, I love their music and stuff, but how do you get a love child? Interesting. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go and hear some of your messages and emails today. As I said, this could be a shorter podcast because I'm up to my neck at the moment, so I am. But I'll go into the emails first of all and have a wee look here and see if there's any emails. Obviously, there is emails, but obviously I want to check and see if there's any more emails that are worth looking at, because I have pinned a few of them, because there's quite a few that I like to pin to either read out on the podcast or reply to personally. Let's have a look here and see. Right. One here from David McKee. Hi, David. How you doing? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Looks like another football question. Hi, Matthew. Hope this email finds you well. Apart from being too bloody warm, David. My question is for the podcast is, as a fellow Irish League fan and someone who knows all about the NIFL leagues and from the Premiership right down to the Premier Intermediate League, who do you think will win each of our leagues next season? Premiership, Championship, PIL. Thank you for the great content you bring us to your channel. David, kind regards. David McKee. David, thank you, my friend, for the message. I do appreciate it. Who do I think is going to win the leagues? Now, anybody who obviously doesn't like football, you can fast forward. So you can. Let's go into the Premiership first of all. Premiership-wise this year, it's either going to be Linfield, Larne, or Coleraine. But if I had any money on them at the minute, by the way the signings are going at the minute, it's looking like it's going to be Coleraine. Because of the sign. I mean, they've signed Joe Cooper, they've signed all these good players. Linfield obviously are going to be in the mix because it's Linfield. Larne will have a point to prove this year as well, because obviously winning it 2 years in the bounce and then obviously losing it to Linfield. It just depends obviously who signs more, to be honest, but it's going to be interesting over the next the first couple of weeks in the season to see who puts their stamp down first of all. But if it was my money, it'd be either Linfield or Coleraine this year, especially because Colerane's making all these big signings because they've got big investors and all now involved behind the scenes. The Championship, this will be an interesting one for to talk about the Championship, because obviously, before I do go in as well, I want to say good luck to my old team Bangor in the Premiership this year as well, because they're obviously in the Premiership for the first time since 2009. So, yeah, good luck to them this season too. Championship, well, again, it depends on the signings. You've got the likes of Limavady who have strengthened. The Welders, my old team, have signed one or two half-decent players. We had an announcement the other day. They're actually due to make another announcement today, apparently, for more signings. Who else is going to be up there in there? Loch Gall obviously have a point to try and get back up into the Premiership again after being relegated. Warm Point, who are a very strong outfit, who have been doing a lot of improvements since they were dropped into the third tier, but they're now back into the Championship. They have a point. If I had to pick a favourite for the Championship, it'll probably either be Limavady, as pain as it says me this, the Welders could be up there depending on how the results go for them, or maybe a Warm Point and Loch Gall. It's going to be a tough season to call, so it is, for them. But again, it's the Championship, and I worked the Championship for years with Bangor and Welders, and it's so predictable. 3 or 4 wins, you're back up at the top. 2 or 3 defeats, you're back down mid-table again. It's so awkward to, call. Now, when it comes to the Premier League, sorry to keep going on here about football, obviously who I think is going to win it this year, a 14-team league this year. You've got the likes of the Newry Cities, you've got Ballyclare Comrades have come down to that division for the first time ever. In a long time they've been in that third-tier football. Ballymacash, who have been doing a lot of good signings. They've got a new manager in. They're doing very, very well. But if I was to call, say, who was going to win that, I would probably say either Newry City, make a point, go back up. Ballyclare will be there, and Ballymackay. So if it was up to me, I would probably say maybe Newry City, depending on how they get on. But that's just my view on it. But thank you very much for that email. I do appreciate it. And again, a lot of people keep asking me about the football and stuff. Am I getting back to it this season? Do you know something, guys? I've had a year off from football now, and I've really enjoyed the break, and I've enjoyed being a supporter for teams and stuff, but I am starting to miss it. Really starting to miss the football. And I'd love to get back. So I'm going to try talking to a few teams over the next few weeks to see if I can maybe get back into it again, depending on how everything's going for my own mental health and stuff too as well. But I am missing football big time. Especially with Lewis, but Lewis doesn't want to go back for this personal reasons why Lewis doesn't want to go back. But anyway, moving on. Let's get into the old Instagram, because I sent out a thing the other day there asking you guys to send me in some questions on Instagram on the story. I put some stories up on Instagram asking you, can you send me in some questions? And somebody's have sent me in some questions, which I'm really, really appreciative of. I'm just going to open up Instagram here next. It's one of the apps I forgot to open up on my iPad before I push record here. Oh, wait, where are we here? Instagram, there we go. Right, where's the responses? Right, on Instagram, first of all, Michael says to me on Instagram, first of all, says, Matthew, what is your favourite takeaway? Or sorry, where's your favourite takeaway from? What is your favourite takeaway? Well, at the minute, to be quite honest with you, I'm getting sick and tired of pizza, because Lewis eats 4-star pizza that comes out of his fucking nostrils. If I had to pick a favourite, it would probably be Chinese food. Maybe a bit of honey chili chicken, salted chili chicken, fried rice, bit of curry, chicken balls. So I'm a very plain eater. I'm a very, very plain eater. McDonald's, not really, no. I'm getting fed up with McDonald's. Kebabs, nah, not for me. It'd probably be Chinese food, Michael, so it would be. But again, I'm a very plain eater. Even Indian food, no, I wouldn't touch. Let's just say I love Chinese food, but my stomach doesn't agree with me sometimes when I eat Chinese food. Well, I'll just leave it at that. One here from, on Instagram, Macaulay5278 says, if you could give your 18-year-old self some advice, what would you say? Run away and leave the fucking country. I'm kidding. 18-year-old me? Gee whiz. I get an early drink here before I answer that, because I want to speak with a clear throat. 18-year-old me, what would I say to myself? Wow. Enjoy your life more. Live your life more. Obviously, some of the mistakes that I've made at 18, don't do them. Just enjoy your life more. And because at 18 years of age, guys, I remember it well. Like, I was working 70 odd hours a week, busting my balls. I was driving a motorbike. I was single. I was living life. I was just, all I'd done was work and pay my bills, pay my house, keep to my mum and dad for the house. I didn't really, not that I ever done much at 18. All I done was work. I was working like maybe 60, 70 hours a week, and I was working in a care home. I was just, when I was a lot younger, guys, all I done to seem to do was just basically autopilot. From the age of 18 till maybe when I got married at 23, and then from 23 till my marriage ended, it was just robot mode. Just up, work, kids, bed, up, work, kids, bed, up, work, kids, bed. That's all it was. But the 18-year-old me would be, enjoy life more. Obviously, the mistakes that you made, don't do them, because obviously that affects your life moving forward. Try and be more humble, more respect. Oh, not that I was never respectful, but just obviously enjoy my youth more, instead of like constantly working overtime all the time, and just enjoy life and maybe go on more holidays and explore the world more, and just literally just live my life a lot better than what I did. Because not that I didn't have a good life, I was still living at home at 18, and I was working, and when we 125 moped scooter, well, not a moped scooter, it was a motorbike, but it was a scooter, but it wasn't a moped. It was like a scooter, as I called it back then. in 2001, or 2000, sorry, I was 18. And, all I done was I just drove it to work and drove it home, drove it to work and drove it home. I should have just lived my life more. And just explored more and looked outside the box more, as I always preach to my kids today. Before you make a big decision in your life, always look outside the box and look at the positives and negatives before you make a big decision. And that's what I'd be doing right now. God, to be 18 again. If I wish I was 18 again, to be honest with you, my best friend would still be alive. Fucking hell. Those were the days, I tell you. Let's go on to one more from Instagram before we move into Facebook here. Let's have a look here and see. Okay, here we are here. One from Shauna. Shauna says, "Hi Matthew, what is your best moment or moments of being a parent?" What a question. My best moment and moments. Well, the first best moment for me is when my kids were born. I remember standing in the room the first time when Brooke was born, bawling my eyes out like a baby. Honest to God. And then the same when Lewis came around. I cried a lot as well when Lewis was born as well, because the fact that I always wanted, when I was growing up, I said, if I ever have kids, even if I only have two, as long as I've got one of each, boy and girl. And the day that Lewis was born, it sort of sunk my heart more, because, not because it's a boy or whatever, it's the fact is that I finally got what I wanted, a boy and a girl. Like if Lewis had been born first and Brooke had been born second, I would have felt the same way as well, because again, when you find out you've one of each, it just melts your heart. You know what I mean? Moments I always remember, and obviously best moments, would be that when Lewis was born, when handing Lewis to Brooke on the hospital bed where her mum was sitting and Brooke was sitting holding Lewis. I think I posted a picture of that actually on my social media over the years. Because Brooke wanted a sister, because she was like, we used to say to her, we go, what happens, Brooke, if it's a girl, what are you going to call it? Or obviously if it's a boy, it's going to be called Lewis. But what are you going to do if it's a girl? It's going to be called Lucy. And we were like, okay, for months and months. And then me and their mum turned around and says, well, maybe we should call it Lucy if it is a girl, because that's what Brooke, it's just that wee name's just caught to your head. And then when we first told Brooke that it was a boy, she was like, it's a boy? It's a boy? No. I was like, okay. But see, when we first handed Lewis to her, oh fuck, she fell in love with him. My wee brother. I love my brother so much. And she remember changing his nappy and all, she'd be over to you going, and what do you do next, Daddy, when you're cleaning his bum? And, he's got a wee man. And the things she used to come off, it was so funny. But the best part of it is them being born. Obviously, when they grow up, the wee moments that you've seen them on my YouTube channel. Their last day at school, first day at school, doing their exams, all the wee awards that they won over the years, all the different things that they've done. There's nothing in this world beats being a parent. I don't care what anybody says. People can do whatever they want to me, say whatever they want to me. They can call me all the things they want on the sun. See, as long as I have my two kids in my life and they're healthy and they're fine, and that's an achievement for me personally. You know what I mean? I love my kids to the day I die. And to finish up answering this question, it definitely was the day they were born. More so with Brooke as well, because it was a big day that day, because I know I'm rambling on quite a bit here, but the day Brooke was born was also the same time that George Best died. There's a lot of things that I remember about that day, because I was standing in my Liverpool polo shirt, and Liverpool won the Champions League that year and all too as well, which we'll talk about that another day. It was a big year for me that year, because Liverpool won the Champions League, I got married and also became a dad that year. I was standing in the room, and we were getting the wife at the time ready to go for because they needed to tell her at the last minute they needed to change plans, and she had to go for a cesarean. So I'm standing in this room at the bed beside my wife at the time, and I was talking right here and saying to her, like, "We'll be fine, don't worry, we'll get you through it, and we'll get the child out and everything will be grand." And I remember looking out the window, it was heavy snow, heavy snow, and one of the wee nurses came in and tapped me on the shoulder, "Man, you a football man?" I mean, yeah. And she goes, George Best just died 20 minutes ago. It's just been announced on the radio. And I went, what? So literally, Brooke was born the same day that George Best died. This was in the early hours of the morning. That's how I always remember that. And then Dad came and got me from the hospital to bring me home for a couple of hours sleep after Brooke was born. And we came outside and the whole car park of the hospital was covered with white with snow. Never forget it. Never forget it like it was yesterday. And I come home and I had about 3 or 4 hours sleep. I watched a couple of episodes of Friends on the TV, passed out, and got about 3 or 4 hours sleep, got up, got a shower, got changed, packed a bag, went back up to the hospital again. So I never forget that. But anyway, yes. Sorry for ranting on a bit about that question, but just obviously when you get going, you get all these memories and all whenever your kids were born and stuff like that. So, but yes, I'm very proud of the both of them. But anyway, moving on. Let's get into Facebook here. I'll answer one on Facebook and then I want to hit the road, guys, because I got a really busy afternoon on my head of me here. Right here, where are we from Facebook here? Right, Terry on Facebook. Hello, Terry. How you doing? I'll look down to the bottom here to see where he's put it in from. He hasn't told me where he's from. Anyway, thank you for your message, Terry. I do appreciate it. Hey, Matt, how's it going? Love the podcast. Came across it there a few weeks ago when I seen a post on social media, hashtagging podcast. You came across and I seen you've been podcasting for quite a bit and had a break. Hope you enjoyed your break. I do like your podcast because you're straight to the point, no bullshit, no backdoor, straight shooting. But I noticed on your YouTube channel you can't do that. Why is that? Why is the case where you can't say certain things on YouTube? Keep up the good work, Terry. Okay, well, that's the reason why you can't say some things on YouTube is because you get cancelled. And that's the truth. I'm surprised this podcast hasn't been taken off the YouTube platform either. I've had a few reports about the podcast on YouTube. People coming in with their little fucking lefty appeals, and I've seen their messages and all reporting me saying, "Oh no, that's too this, too that. Take that podcast off the air." I don't understand why people just want to just leave people alone and let them have their opinion. You know what I mean? Back in the day before the internet and all and stuff like that, and before people got too easily offended, if you had an opinion or you didn't like something, you didn't want to do something, you didn't want to see something, you just didn't. It's like TV. If you don't want to watch something, fucking watch. Turn the channel over. Oh, I don't know. But that's why, Gary, because I can't say it online because, again, I'll end up getting shut down. And I don't want to get my channel shut down after all them years of videos. 2,500, nearly 3,000 videos over the years, the last 9 years on YouTube, being shut down because of some little fucking woke dope with multicoloured hair and their glasses and don't know what gender they are, and they're going nuts and screaming at me and calling me everything under the fucking sun because I said a certain word or a certain thing. So yeah, no, I don't think so. Just I hope that clears it up for you. But thank you for coming across the podcast and thank you for listening to us every week. I do appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for being a supporter of the Rumour Army. It really does mean a lot. Guys, I'm going to go here now, and I'm surprised I haven't actually finished this 10 Monster. I'm still halfway through it. I'm surprised to get out of this heat wave. I want to get this put out tonight before tea time, and then I'm going to go. I've got my weekend to sort out. I'm going to watch this show at 6 o'clock tonight, and then I'm going to finish off my vlog from 2 days ago. From doing the bathroom. It's over 2 days, guys. This is how busy I've fucking been. Yeah. And I hope, by the way, before I do go, I want to say thank you to everybody who's been messaging me about the troll comments I posted screenshots off on social media. Thank you for your emails and your messages on Facebook and Instagram and all. Guys, I'm sorry, but I'm sick and tired of trolls. If you want to go so far, I'm going to fucking name and shame you. I don't give a shit no more. You want to go to the point where you want to fucking create fake accounts and try and troll me, that's absolutely fine because I'll just drag you through the dirt. I don't hold back anymore on this channel anymore. As I said to you before, if you're going to come in here with constructive criticism and ask me questions about certain things, happy days, bring it on. I'll even reply to you personally. But if you're going to make up fake emails and come in and call me this and call me that, then you're going to be fucking name and shamed or I'm going to block you. But thank you for all your comments, guys, and all your support. It means a lot to me. Somebody were commenting me on Facebook and mailing me on the Facebook fan page saying, Matthew, you don't have to put up with that shit. Why don't they just leave you alone? You're just a normal guy with 2 kids and a family. I know. With an opinion. This podcast is set up for me to talk about certain things, give my views on it because I can't do it on YouTube, and for me to communicate with my audience. People send me questions, I answer them. Random day, give you an example before I go. A random day guy and girl, when I was up getting my paint the other day at the paint centre with Lewis, ran into this couple outside. His name's come out of my head now. He said he's a follower of the channel and stuff like that, and it was his girlfriend with him too as well. And I said to him, look, listen, bottom line is, no matter what you say or do now, you're always offending somebody. And his missus turned around and said something along the lines of, fuck them. Let them say what they want. They're all just fucking snowflakes. And I went, you're damn right they are. It's people like that I love. People come up to me in the street and say, Matt, watch the channel, love it, blah, blah. happy days. If you see me in the street, you don't like me, come over and say, look, listen, I don't like what you done in that video. Why do you have a view on this for? I'll have a chat with you. I'll debate with you. If you become, as I always say, if you're a dick, I'm going to tell you where to go. I want to say, I have no time for you. True on. Guys, as I said to you before, the comments have been outstanding. The love and support's been amazing. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. Yeah, it's been great hearing from you all. And again, I'm going to sit this weekend when I get a chance to go through some more of the emails and the messages and reply to you all, because I love replying to you all and I love chatting with people. I really do. So, guys, don't be afraid. Send me a message. But if you're going to be a dick, you're going to be blocked. So you are. So, but anyway, yes, that's going to bring us to the end of today. On this Friday episode instead of Thursday, guys, I will see you back here on Tuesday for another episode of the Moore Army podcast. Stay tuned for some vlogs. The vlogs are coming back. Trust me, they're coming back. I know I haven't posted a video since last Saturday on the channel. Please bear with me, because I've been up to my fucking neck with work and personal stuff and family stuff and trying to sort my house out, and just life gets in the way. You know what I mean? And I just love these people saying, like, oh, you post it, whenever you post so much online, you're on the dole. I go and fucking kiss my ass. Love it, guys. But all the ones who do support me, I love you all, and you don't know how much it means to me. Right, I'm going to go. So before I go, guys, don't forget, check it out on social media, the website as well. Forgot to mention moorarmy.co.uk. We are having a few issues with the online store. I was trying to get it sorted for weeks, trying to get new merch put up, but the store's been a bit of a dick at the minute, so we're trying to rebuild a new store and put it on the website. You can listen to this podcast on there, watch all the vlogs, do all the stuff on there, communicate with each other, do whatever you want on there, moorarmy.co.uk. Our friends at FTBL Spot, FTBLspot.shop, all your football stuff on there, you know, boots, classic shirts, mystery shirts in the box and all. Moore Army at the checkout as a promo code to get your discount. And also, contact me on social media if you want to as well. Guys, thank you very much for downloading, streaming, listening to this podcast. I'm going to rush on here now and get my weekend going. Keep because the first vlog coming up on the channel next will be me decorating the bathroom and me out and about and stuff, getting stuff. Trust me, it's funny, because you see what I put on my bathroom wall. I've got new artwork from my bathroom, and it's fucking awesome. Really see it, it's amazing. So it's really, really cool. I love it. Right, till Tuesday, guys. Enjoy. Oh, bollocks. I forgot to say to you, I was going to do Jackass of the Week this week. It's just come into my head, and I've actually just checked my notes there. No Jackass of the Week. I know I put a thing up on Instagram for it, but because the podcast was cancelled yesterday, I feel like a dick now doing this, because I forgot about it. Because the podcast was cancelled yesterday, I'm going to do a double Jackass of the Week for this week, which will be on Tuesday, and then I'll do one on Thursday as well, because obviously the podcast was cancelled, and I already have it out there on social media. So guys, I know a lot of you have been contacting me. I know exactly who your Jackass of the Week this week, but I'm just trying to get everything covered. But I will be doing 2 next week. Right, I'm going to go. Have to rush. Things to do. I'll just check the time, and I've got things to do and little time to do it in. Guys, until Tuesday, have a great weekend, and I'll see you back here for another episode of the Moore Army podcast. Thanks for listening, guys.